What's happening, spreads? It's Stu here from Trowel Talk. In this video today, I'm going to talk to you about one simple thing you can do to improve the quality of your finish. Now, common sense tells us that whatever trowel we use is going to determine the quality of your finish. In this case, I'm using a Marshalltown extra light. So of course, get yourself a decent trowel. But one of the simple, obvious hack that we can often overlook as plasterers is this here, lighting. Now I want to demonstrate to you a light that I've been trialing for around 4 months, and it is probably the best value light that I've ever purchased in the last 20 years. And I've been through all different types of lights, halogens, stand-up halogens, twin halogens. I've had the Bauer rechargeable battery LEDs. We've had all kinds of, we've had the floor standing lights, like the big lollipop stick lights that go in the middle of the room. Lots of different lighting. I even used to carry around an old fluorescent tube, you know what you get in kitchens and stuff, that we used to just chuck in the corner of the room. And the issue that I had with all these different lights is that they were one directional. So I'm going to talk about this light here today, guys, and demonstrate why I believe it's the best value light currently on the market. Now, I've tried the Stanley version. This one is the faithful version. It's called the Illuminator. I've hooked it up on the ceiling, but you can just chuck it on the floor and have it firing up into the air. Check out the difference between a standard bulb, I think they're, I don't know, 60 watt bulb. Check out the difference between that, and you can see it's lit the room up, but that window wall, for example, you can hardly see anything because the light firing into the room is brighter than the light we've got inside the room. So I'm going to turn that off for a second, and I'm going to flick on the Illuminator by Faithful. Check that out. Check out the difference. It's lit up the window wall. In fact, it's lit up the whole room. It's that bright that the video is actually flickering. I think it's about 500 watts. I'm not sure on the the lumens or whatever it's called, but I can put that in the description. All I can tell you is that it's very, very, very bright. The video probably doesn't do it justice, but it is very, very, very bright. And of course, if you want to increase the quality of your finish by increasing the light in the room, by turning that right up, like you can see here, it's scattering high power light all over my work. So I've got no excuses really. And it means that the areas that would normally be covered with shadows or low lighting are being exposed and highlighted for me. So tip for today, guys, get a decent light. Again, I've been through so many lights over the years, and they all promise, they're the best, they promise to be the best. But in all honesty, this one here by Faithful, they're not very expensive, and I'm not affiliated with Faithful in any way. But this one here, guys, it's been kicked around and knocked about. I mean, look at the state of it. It looks fossilised, for Christ's sake, but it's been bouncing around on the van. It's been knocked about. It's got 2 decent sturdy handles on there. It's got a really long lead. It's got a really long cable. I mean, that's got to be what goes down here, around down into my extension lead there. It's got to be at least, I don't know, 3 metre lead on it. And another little perk, it's got a plug socket here. So you can use it as a kind of like an extension lead. What I normally do, leave it on the floor and plug my mixer straight into there, because all my kit's corded. I know everybody's going cordless. I appreciate that. I'm not fussed on the cordless lights and the cordless mixers at the moment, and I'll tell you why. In my opinion, you're getting rid of one problem, which is draping cords and cords laying everywhere, and obviously the risk of trip hazards and whatnot. But in my opinion, you're creating another problem, and that's running out of juice. So like I say, I've had the Bauer cordless light, lasts about 2 hours and it dies. That's no good for me, because the last thing I need when I'm mid-set, troweling up, sweating my nuts off, is my light dying, or my mixer dying, or my radio dying. And it's just, like I say, you're getting rid of one problem, leads draping around everywhere and trailing around, and you're creating another problem, running out of juice, and your tools and your kit potentially dying on you mid-set. So that's the reason I haven't gone cordless. I think once batteries improve to the point where you get at least a day out of them, especially lights, because I know you can't get a day, or I believe you can't get a day out of a light, even the DeWalt's, which I know loads of you on the group are saying the DeWalt globe lights are shit hot as well. But can you get a day out of them? I don't know. As far as I'm aware, you're getting a couple of hours, and then it's battery recharge time. So that's my only niggle with going cordless, especially on lighting. But yeah, they're so cheap. I picked this up for, I think it was like 60 quid, something like that, 50 quid or 60 quid. And it's took a beating. It's took an absolute beating. So if you want to improve the quality of your finish, get yourself one of these bad boys. It's called the Illuminator by Faithful. I've also got the Stanley version. I think it's called the Globe Light. Again, it's decent, but I'll be honest, it was a lot more expensive than the Faithful. It's slightly smaller, the lead isn't as long, and it's not as big. So makes sense for me to, if I'm going to promote a light, I'm going to promote this one here, guys. And again, I think it was something daft like 50 or 60 quid, and it is the best light that I've ever owned in the last 20 years. Doesn't take up any space as well. I mean, I've had some like cumbersome looking lights on site, some big lights, thinking go big and you know it'll do the job, but because they're one directional, so it either mean I have to keep moving it, turning it. These just flood the entire room with light, and again, if you chuck it on the floor, it'll do your ceiling for you. I hope that helps, guys. Increase the lighting, and that'll increase the quality of your finish. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe.